Imagine a tablet, not a gaming laptop, a slate. Now imagine that slate has 24 gigabytes of RAM. Let that sink in. The MacBook Pro M3 starts with 8 gigs. The iPad Pro tops out at 16 gigs unless you spend thousands. But on November 25, 2025, Huawei is releasing the MatePad Edge. On paper, this device looks like overkill, a marketing stunt. Why on earth does a mobile operating system need 24 gigabytes of memory? But here is the secret that nobody is talking about. This isn't just a specs war. This massive memory, the built-in cooling fan, the new OS, they are all pieces of a puzzle. They are a desperate, brilliant engineering answer to a geopolitical problem. Today, we are tearing down the strategy behind the Huawei MatePad Edge. We're going to explain why this device is over-provisioned by design, how it compensates for banned technology, and why this might be the most controversial piece of tech released this year. The brute force strategy. To understand the MatePad Edge, we have to talk about the chip inside it. We know Huawei is blocked from using the world's most advanced chip manufacturing, TSMC's 3nm process. They have to rely on domestic partners like SMIC, using older 7nm or pseudo 5nm technology. In the tech world, if you can't be efficient, you have to be big. Because Huawei's chips, rumored to be the Kirin X90, are physically limited by older lithography, they aren't as naturally fast or power efficient as Apple's M4. So how do you beat Apple? You cheat. Well, you change the rules of physics. This is where the 24 gigabytes of RAM comes in. It's not for bragging rights. It's a compensatory architecture. When a processor is slightly slower, you don't want it wasting time fetching data from the slow hard drive. You want everything ready and waiting in the super fast RAM. By putting 24 gigabytes of RAM in this thing, Huawei effectively keeps the entire operating system and your heavy apps resident in memory. It's a brute force method to mask the limitations of the chip. It ensures that even if the processor is a generation behind, the experience feels instant. The fan and the battery. But brute force creates heat. Most tablets, like the iPad, are passively cooled. They just dissipate heat through the metal back. The MatePad Edge, it has a fan. This changes the category completely. This isn't a tablet anymore. It's a laptop trapped in a tablet's body. That fan allows the Kirin X90 processor to run at peak speed for hours, video rendering, compiling code, gaming, without throttling down like a normal phone chip would. And to power that fan and that screen, a massive 13,000 mAh battery. That's significantly bigger than the industry standard. And with 100-watt charging, you can fill this tank in under an hour. Basically, Huawei built a muscle car because they couldn't build an electric sports car. Now let's look at what you actually touch. This is a 14.2-inch OLED display, but it's using Huawei's paper matte technology. It's not just a sticker. They nano-etched the glass. It cuts glare, yes, but it also adds physical resistance to the stylus. It feels like writing on paper, not sliding on glass. And speaking of the stylus, Huawei has ditched Bluetooth. They are using something called Nearlink. Why? Because Nearlink is reportedly 6 times faster and has 1/30th the latency of Bluetooth. This allows the M Pencil to have 10,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. Again, notice the pattern. They can't use Western standards, so they built their own standards that on paper are actually better. Chapter 4. The HarmonyOS Gamble. But here is the risk, the elephant in the room. The MatePad Edge runs HarmonyOS 6, also known as HarmonyOS NEXT. This is the native break. Previous Huawei tablets could run Android apps. This one, it cannot. No APKs, no Play Store. It uses a proprietary microkernel that Huawei claims is 3 times more efficient than Linux. This is a burn the bridges moment. If you buy this, you are locked into Huawei's ecosystem. But to make it work, they're bringing PC-level apps, not mobile versions. We're talking full desktop WPS Office with pivot tables, full CapCut for video editing. Even coding software like DevEco Studio runs directly on the tablet. They're betting that you don't need a million apps, you just need the right pro apps. Conclusion. So what is the Huawei MatePad Edge? Is it the iPad killer? In raw benchmarks? Probably not. The Apple M4 is a monster, but the MatePad Edge is something more interesting. It is a defiant device. It uses 24 gigabytes of RAM to overcome chip bans. It uses a fan to overcome thermal limits. It uses HarmonyOS NEXT to overcome the software blockade. It is a specialized tool for a specific kind of power user, one who wants to break away from the Apple and Google duopoly. It launches November 25 alongside the Mate 80. It will be expensive. It will be controversial. And it might be the most unique computer of 2025. But I have to ask you, would you trade the safety of Android for the raw, brute force power of the Edge? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.